Hi everyone, welcome to With the Messenger. As promised, this is a tutorial on how to cast your birth chart slash natal chart. Okay, so go to horoscopes.astro-seek.com, or you could just Google AstroSeek, okay, natal chart, and this window will come up. I have put in the date of birth here and a time. Time is very important because it helps you to get an accurate description of your natal chart, including the ascendant and the degrees, which if you learn more advanced astrology, you'll see how those are important. However, if you don't know it, you could click unknown time. Okay. I will do this with the hope that you do have a time for your birth chart. Okay. And as well, you're going to put in the city in which you were born, not where you currently live. Also click extended house systems and select from the house system whole sign. It's going to be the easiest way for you to learn this. The aspect orbs, the orbs has to do with, whether it's a conjunction or a trine or oppositions, etc. You don't need to know what these are right now. You just need to learn how to cast your chart. And then from there, you could decide which topic you want to learn next. Okay. Also, the type of chart is tropical zodiac, right? Not sidereal, not Vedic, any of those. And then you're gonna click calculate chart. All right. So this is this person's birth chart. If you're doing this on a PC, you're gonna be able to see the wheel and in the right-hand corner, the planet positions, the sign they're in, right side by side. However, if you're doing this on a phone, this table right here, or this legend, is going to be all the way to the bottom, okay? If you're not sure what these symbols mean, it's good to look at the legend first because that gives you a guide. For instance, this is a symbol of the sun, and this is a symbol of Aries. So you have to know the zodiac sign symbols, even if you don't know the symbol of the planet, okay? To the right here, so you have the planet, you have the sign, you have the degree, and you have the house. Now, remember, a birth chart is a stamp at the time you were born of where the planets were, meaning in the signs, the degree it was in, and the ascendant at your time of birth. I think the ascendant changes every 2 hours throughout the day. So different signs rule different hours. Okay. Yeah, because 12 signs, right? So like every 2 hours. So when this person was born at 9:30 a.m., the ascendant sign for them was in the sign of Cancer, and it was at 8 degrees. And so their ascendant, their first house from whole sign perspective is in Cancer. And then the rest of the wheel then is populated. Now, in the astrological wheel, Aries rules the first house, Taurus rules the second house, and so forth. That's a traditional from the beginning of the zodiac to the end of the zodiac, from Aries all the way to Pisces. But that changes. If you were lucky enough to be born during a time where Aries was your ascendant, then the wheel is going to be so easy for you to read, right? However, this person's first house is in the sign of Cancer, so everything else falls along that lines, okay? An important thing for you to learn before you jump to your wheel or after you've looked at your wheel, next thing you might want to take a look at the modalities. For instance, cardinal signs is cardinal is a modality, and that is Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries. Mutable, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius. Fixed, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. Okay. And next thing is the elements. Elements are water, fire, air, earth. Okay. So air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water, Scorpio, Pisces, um, Cancer, okay, and so forth. So those are important things to look at, as well as you want to see a traditional astrological wheel that tells you what each house represents. Okay, for example, a second house has to do with your assets, your self-worth, the money that you make from your career. Fourth house has to do with your home, your property, um, your family of origin, the legacy that comes to you, even family trauma, your mother, etc. You also want to look at what the planets represent. Like, for instance, the moon represents your body, your home, your privacy, your emotions. Um, Saturn represents where you feel restrictions, where karma is involved for you or someone else, where you might feel like time is not enough or time is of the essence, like you have to be very disciplined into like meet a deadline. Uranus is where you get a lot of shocks where things feel unstable, etc. So modality, elements, the astrological wheel for the houses. Um, Let me see if I could add some notes here. Annotate, let's do text. And so modality, elements, astrological wheel, planet meanings. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think this does it. Oh, sign meanings. Okay. All right. And that will help you to kind of piece it together. All right. So what's next? Um, so remember I said that these numbers on the side here, let's give me a second. Let me take this off. Remember I said that these numbers all the way to the right here represents the houses that the sign and the planet is in. Then the letter R here represents a planet that was retrograde at that person's time of birth. Okay. And so they're basically born with the energy of that planet retrograde. So let's take, for example, this person has Venus retrograde. So they may feel when it comes to love and finances, like they have to go over things with a fine-tooth comb in that area. Okay. If you scroll down a bit, you're going to actually see interpretations, minor interpretations, but it's a good guide nonetheless of the different planets being in a certain sign and house. Okay. I don't think it does all of them. It just do the planets in the house. So if you have an empty, in this person's case, an empty house is a house that you don't see any planets in. It doesn't mean that it's not important, okay? Because transits hidden in the house will definitely create some type of change sometime. Okay. So Leo house is an empty house. So you won't see any write up to the bottom about that. Okay. Um, Another thing for you to pay attention to is what in the astrological wheel, and I'm pretty sure if you find a real good one, you'll have it. What planet traditionally rules what house and what sign, okay? Aries is ruled by Mars. Scorpio traditionally is ruled by Mars. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Aquarius and Capricorn ruled by Saturn. Okay, so these things, they interplay with one another. So if I'm looking at the Cancer house, the ascendant, well, the ruler is the moon. Where is the moon? In the sign of Aries, in this person's 10th house. Okay. If this sparks your interest, you're going to go and read more. You're going to have to look at things like a planet in its detriment. For example, the moon in Scorpio. That's in its detriment. It doesn't feel comfortable in the sign of Scorpio. Mars in Taurus, it doesn't feel comfortable in the sign of Taurus because Taurus is more laid back, more reserved type energy, right? Saturn in Pisces is not the strongest. Jupiter in Gemini, not the strongest. Okay. So those things down the line, those will play a role. But for now, it's just, I would say, learn these things and then the picture will start to become very clear for you. Now, in terms of transits affecting a house when it comes to your natal chart, remember when you were born, these were the planets in the sky. So this is static, this stays the same. But as time goes by, the planets, they keep moving, they keep changing through different signs. And so let's take for today, for example. Let me click the transit. I don't know if, I don't know. I think this would open in another window, and I'm not sure in another window. So let me stop the share, and I'm going to open this in the other window and then share that. Okay, so we're here, right? Let me go back to that person's birth date, which would this be the 16th of April, 1969, and I believe it was 9:30 a.m. Belize City, sorry, New York. And so we're gonna do this for the date, which is today is the 21st of July, 2024. Come on. And right now is at least my time is, oh, let's leave it at 3:30. Okay. Remember the whole system, whole sign. The orb less than 3 degrees, and of course this is tropical. Okay. We're gonna calculate the transits. So this might look really confusing, right? So let's look at this legend over here. So basically what this is saying, at this person's time of birth, the sun was in 26 degrees Aries. At the time that we calculated for, which is today, July the 21st, 3:30, the sun is at 29 degrees Cancer. The moon at their time of birth was 24 degrees Aries. The moon is currently in the sign of Aquarius at 4 degrees, etc. Okay? So I know this looks crazy as ever. Think about it. This inner wheel right here that has the zodiac signs, okay? Whatever is on the inside of that, that is blue, represents your birth planet. Whatever is on the outside of that, that is orange, represent the date of the transit. So for example, this says the moon in this transit is at 4 degrees Aquarius, which the moon is in this person's natally eighth house. So this person today might not be feeling the best because the eighth house has to do with, or deep emotions, or they might want to become intimate with their partner, or they may be thinking about shared resources, stuff like that, that the eighth house rules. And the moon has to do with our emotions, okay? So those two themes become fused together. The sun is currently transiting their first house, and it as is at the last of their first house. So they could be doing something to beautify themselves. They could be doing something to make their body feel good. Okay, and it could also be a time where they're interacting with others, and I only say that because like the spotlight is on them with the sun. Okay. What else? Let me see. Saturn is currently in their natal, okay, their natal ninth house. So they may becoming very disciplined about maybe education, traveling. They could be planning these things, working towards them, could be having conversations around principles, morals, pursuing something on this legal side that has to do with justice. Okay. So that has to do with transits on a whole. If you want to zone down even more, okay, you're going to look at, well, we're going to come back to the legend. Well, are any of these, and for now, just think about conjunction. Conjunction means it's in the same sign, okay, not necessarily the same planet, but it's in the same sign and it's near 3 degrees on either side. So I could already look at this and say Chiron is conjuncting something for this person. So Chiron down here is currently at 23 degrees Aries in transit. Let's look at their birth chart. Is there anything around 23 degrees Aries? Yes, their moon. is in 23, is at 24 degrees. So that's a 1 degree, or 23 minus 24, sorry, 24 minus 23, right? So when it comes to stuff around their reputation, their relationship with their father, because that's what the 10th house is as well, their relationship to authority figures, their public image, their career, this might be a time when they're processing a lot of emotional wounds. Okay. Let me see if I could find another one. Um, that is in close proximity. Okay, let's take their south node, right? South node has to, sorry, their north node. North node has to do with their purpose. New things that are being initiated in their life, what they're here, what they're meant to do, right? So their north node at birth is at 29 degrees Pisces. I could see from this lineup right here that Neptune is on their north node. How do we confirm that? Well, look at the transit, 29 degrees Pisces. So what does this mean for this person, especially since Neptune is retrograde? Well, Neptune retrograde takes off the rose-colored glasses and lets you see the real. So this person, since this is in their ninth house, and the ninth house is a house about your purpose too. And this person is getting really serious about their purpose. Okay, and what is that they want? And that makes sense because Saturn is also retrograde in that ninth house and saying, hey, it's time to get serious here. Okay. So this might also be a time when they get a second chance because Neptune retrograde to me is also like a saving grace, okay, or healing where necessary. So I hope that helps, and I hope that you take the time to watch this video, pull up your birth chart beside it, look up those topics that I gave you, and comment down below if you have any questions, anything that was unclear. I'll do my best to answer it. And I am hoping in August, the beginning of August, to put out a solar return chart and how to cast that and how to read it just at the basic level. You could go more in depth there. Um, Basically what a solar return chart is when you have your birthday every year, meaning the sun, well, not your birthday, when the sun returns to the same degree as the time you were born, because sometimes it might be before your actual birthday, like it could be a day before or a day after, right? A chart is created for you at the time that becomes a no, a snapshot of themes of your year ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna use examples, then I might use the same time here and just show you the correlations and little tips and tricks as to what you can do to look at it. And then of course you could go on your merry way and dig deeper. But again, like, share, subscribe, share the video, comment down below, and you could also book a personal reading with me. And until next time, be blessed.